Hello everyone, today we'll be discussing about the Web 3.0, the blockchain and the future of the internet. But before diving that, let us first understand what are the Web 1.0, Web 2.0s, and then later jump into the Web 3.0. So starting in the early 1990s all the way up to 2002, Web 1.0 was actually into the effect. So basically Web 1.0 where the internet era where read-only things were possible, things like Wikipedia or any web pages where users can just visit, consume the content, read the information, and that's it. So there is nothing much more which can be done. So it was very limited for the advertisers to advertise on, and the world of internet were very limited because only informations can be read and no particular actions can be suited for. So from 2004 onwards, Web 2.0 came into the existence, and this is also what we are using today also, like Google, the Facebook, like we are commenting, we are sharing reviews, we are like logging in to the Amazon store to buy something, adding on to our cart. So all these things is a part of the Web 2.0 or the current generation internet. So in Web 2.0 one can read and also like communicate with the platforms, such as you can do comment, you can download, you can upload, you can like literally do anything. So whatever websites you like, you are interacting on your day-to-day basis, all are the part of the Web 2.0. Now what exactly is Web 3.0 and its futuristic causes? So the thing is that Web 3 is also the platform which can enable you the functions of read and interact, like the functions of the Web 2.0, but the only thing is that this would be decentralized, which means no one would be having a particular control of the same. Now this really gives a vast amount of security because there would be no governing authority who would be responsible for hosting your contents up. So there would be no proper hosting, no servers. It's not like you can go to any random hosting company and you can host information out. So it's more secure, it's more reliable, it's more fast, and it gives more accuracy. But before more deeper into the Web 3.0, we need to understand a few concepts on blockchain. So come, let us find out what blockchain is. So blockchain, and let us understand how does this actually work. So basically the main fundamental of a blockchain network is like comprises of a block which contains the following things, like the data, the hash, and the hash of the previous block. So let us understand all of these parameters one by one. Now the first point is data. So the thing is, like, this is a Bitcoin block example. So data means to, from, and amount. So this, like any data which have the variables of to, from, and the amount can be considered as a data. Hash definitely like gives you a unique identification number for identifying your block and the data. So as you can see, this can be an alphanumeric code which something looks like this on the screen, and this is something which is very unique for a given block and can segregate your block from the other blocks by assigning this unique hash key to a particular block. Now hash of the previous block, now this makes the block interlinked with each other. So as you can see the first screenshot, like hash of the previous block, so all the blocks, like any new block is attached to the hash of the previous block. Now this also gives an additional security since the data cannot be really tampered, as changing one data point changes the hash of the current and the previous block eventually, and definitely the entire chain would destroy the blockchain. So once a block is added to a blockchain, it literally or technically cannot be tampered with. So as you can see the second example, this is an example of what blockchain actually looks like. So there are 4 blocks and there are 4 different hashes for all of the blocks, and the previous hashes are linked with each of the blocks. So it means that no one can literally tamper the data of any one block, because if any one block is tampered, then all the other blocks would be tampered and the data would be irrelevant, and this really gives an additional support of the security. Now some key points about the blockchain. So the thing is that the entire blockchain resides as a copy in the network of computers or nodes. Now this is what makes them decentralized. Some of the nodes are also called the miners. You might have heard about Bitcoin mining or Ethereum mining. So these are known as miners, and these nodes verify the data every time this is added into the blockchain. So if I explain this correctly, instead of physical servers, instead of physical hosting, of any governing authority. All the blocks are randomly stored across multiple computers or nodes, which makes the entire system decentralized, and these nodes are verified every time a new data is added by a series of miners who are known as miners of the blockchain, and they verifies that if the given information is correct or not. What about the privacy? So the thing is that all the data that resides in the network of the computer, one might wonder that how the data is kept secured or what is the privacy. But the thing is that privacy is achieved by the use of public key cryptography. So every node contains its individual private and the public keys, just like an email and the password. So your email would act like the public key, which all the miners can know, and the private key would be the password, which only you would be knowing. So unless you are providing the private key, no one else can review what information is stored here. So this is a pure concept of cryptography, which is followed exhaustively in blockchain. Now the thing is, how does the data get processed in a blockchain? So the thing is that, as you can see from the diagram, like from A one block to B another block, both of them have two different hashes and the amount is ₹50. So this data, now another thing is that the transaction is carried out only when majority of the node in the network verify the transaction. So suppose you are having 4 nodes, so unless more than 3 of the nodes verifies the transaction, then the transaction will not be carried out. Now in a particular node case, if any node gives a false signal, in that case the transaction is carried out by the simply majority of the consensus of the responses received from all the nodes. For example, if the majority of the responses are in favor of the transaction, then the transaction will happen. If the majority of the responses are not in favor of the transaction, then the transaction will decline or will fail to operate as well. So how does the data get processed in a blockchain? Now the thing is that this exposes a weakness in the blockchain, that if somehow 51% of all the nodes in a blockchain network are hacked, then a particular transaction can be stopped or altered. So this is the only gap which we can find in a particular blockchain, because unless and until 51 nodes are hacked, a blockchain is impossible to defeat, and it's practically impossible to hack 51 different nodes at a real time. That would really require a lot of energy, a lot of supercomputers all running at the same time. So it's almost an impossible task to carry out. So now back into the Web 3.0. So the thing is that in the Web 2.0, an owner do not really have the control of his or her own data or the product, but in Web 3.0, the owner have the true control of the entire data or the assets or the liabilities which contains within the website. So some of the important features of Web 3.0 is that in Web 3.0 there will be no censorship like the Facebook or Twitter. So there are no central authorities who can take their decisions, who can change the decisions by their influence. So your digital identity is not 100% connected to your real world. So this means that you can post pictures, do trading, sell anything anonymously, and also you can create your own content and you can name them as non-fungible tokens or NFTs, which means that you can have a true identity of your own digital assets, which will set yourself aside as the digital creator owner from rest of the creators. Now what are NFTs and how do they work? So NFT is also known as a non-fungible token. It's commonly an analogy which works like a digital trading cards or a digital painting. So whenever you are buying an NFT, you are buying the rights of a specific asset. So this is basically the rights of a particular design or an asset which you own completely. So the technical aspect of the NFT is that NFT is just a piece of data that is owned by the address, and whoever have the password to that address owns that piece of data. The data can be brought and sold to a different addresses, that is, the data is verified in the blockchain. And the cool thing is that the owner's history can also be tracked in the network. For example, this is an NFT which has been sold for $600,000. Now what happens when you buy NFTs? Now whenever you buy an NFT, you actually own the piece of that digital rights, and also it points to a server which hosts that particular image, and you own the complete right of that particular digital imagery. However, please remember that whoever owns the server can change the image. So most NFTs are hosted on blockchains which is owned by a collective of nodes, and once again it is literally impossible to hack 51 nodes to breach the blockchain. And this is why it is important to know that whenever you are buying an NFT, it means that you are buying a piece of data that is something unique on the entire internet. And if you ask me, owning an NFT doesn't really give you anything, but it's just that you are owning some set of data which keeps you unique from rest of your peer colleagues, competitors, gamers, whatever you might have to say. Why buy an NFT? Now the thing is that the only reason right now why people buy his NFT is for trading purposes. So here are 4 reasons which I have identified. The first one is being first of its kind, utility in the real world, unique, and ownership history. So if you have a very unique digital art, and if you are the rightful owner of the same, then you can really sell that thing. You can be involved in trading your NFTs and make some quick amount of money. Some type of NFTs, as you can see, so NFTs can be of various things like art, collectibles, domain names, music, photography, sports, trading cards, utilities, virtual worlds, and much more. So now we will show you an exact setup on how you can buy, set up, and sell your NFT. So you need to first buy a domain. So go to Unstoppable Domains, and you can choose any of the domain you'd like to. You can choose any of your extensions like .x, .crypto, .nft, .blockchain, like whichever is convenient for you. Once you have bought a domain, which can cost somewhere between $19 to $25, can cost higher also if some domain is premium, and then you need to mint your domain. So as you can see from the screen, you can just click on the free mint. So once you click on free mint, then your domain would be minted in the blockchain node in maybe in a maximum of 5 minutes. After that, you can go to your my domains list, where you can view all of the list of the domains that you owe, and you can click on the manage to manage your domains properly. So once you visit the manage, then it's simply like the other websites. You can drag and drop, you can build your entire web page, you can play around, and you can like build your own website. So this is what we have did for Thatware. So as you can see, for Thatware we have our own .nft website. It's just a basic, but just for an experimentation purposes. And then you can just list your domains as an NFT on OpenSea. So you can just open OpenSea.io, create an account by connecting your wallet, and then you can just upload your NFT, and you can just put some value like your current pricing and all, and that's it. So as you can see, we already have our logo as our NFT, which currently have the minimum price of 10 Ethereum, and if someone wants to buy, then they can make us an offer. So this is how the entire Web 3.0 network works. So guys, as you've seen that the Web 3.0 is very interesting and something very unique to the near future, for the future of the internet. So you can literally do a lot of things, play around. I don't really see a lot of great profit at this moment, but it's always cool stuff to play around with this and learn a lot of things. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.